Welcome to the AI for Technical Writers podcast. This is episode 101. I'm Fred.
And I'm Daphne. It's great to be here.
Good to have you.
So this topic today actually comes from a suggestion by our producer, Curt Robbins. He's a senior technical writer himself.
Right. And he pointed us toward a really interesting post.
Yeah, it's by Damilola Oladele titled, Why Editing Matters More Than Ever with AI-Assisted Writing. It came out October 6th, 2025.
And the core idea, the thesis, really grabbed me. It's basically saying, look, AI makes writing easier, sure. Generating words, simple now.
But better writing, that's not guaranteed at all.
Not at all. And Oladele argues that the real differentiator now between, super productive writers and just average ones, it's editing.
It's all about the editing, which means we first need to be super clear about what we mean when we talk about using AI for writing. The source makes a really vital distinction.
Okay, let's break that down. Two different ways to approach it.
Exactly. There's what Oladele calls AI writing, and that's flagged as the pitfall. That's where you basically give the AI a prompt like, hey, write the docs for this API, and then you kind of just take what it spits out and publish it. Minimal review, maybe none.
Right, you're basically outsourcing the whole thinking process, the judgment.
Precisely. You're letting the tool drive. Now, the recommended way, especially for us in technical writing, is AI-assisted writing. Here, the human, that's you, the writer, you started off. You have your ideas, you've done the research, you know the structure you need.
Okay, so the writer leads.
Yes. Then you use AI strategically just for the grunt work, the mechanical stuff, repetitive tasks. That way you stay in complete control of the direction, the accuracy, the voice, everything important.
That makes sense. And letting the AI handle that initial idea generation, Oladele calls that self-sabotage, which sounds pretty strong.
It is strong, but the risks are real. The first big one is just a lack of originality.
How so? I mean, technical docs aren't exactly creative fiction.
True, but think about how AI works. It's trained on vast amounts of existing text, right? So it defaults to the most common patterns, the most prevalent ways of saying things. Readers, even subconsciously, start to notice. They get this feeling of déjà vu, like, haven't I read this exact explanation somewhere else?
Ah, so it feels generic, like an echo.
No, exactly, just another echo. And that ties into the second risk, losing the human element.
What do you mean by human element in tech docs?
Well, think about really good documentation. It often includes those little insights, right? The kind that comes from someone actually wrestling with the problem. Maybe it's a subtle point about timing or a workaround that isn't obvious. It's those personal experiences, those hard-won lessons.
Okay, I see. The stuff that shows a real person figured this out.
Yeah. And if you just let the AI generate the core ideas, you lose all that first-hand perspective. It becomes sterile.
And probably less helpful in tricky situations.
Definitely. Which brings us to the third danger, and this one's maybe the scariest for technical writers.
Yeah.
Factual errors, hallucinations.
Oh yeah, the infamous AI making stuff up.
It's a huge problem. Models have knowledge cutoffs, so they might give you outdated info, like old function names, without realizing it.
Or worse, they just invent things.
Exactly. They can create perfectly plausible sounding details, a function parameter, a configuration setting that just doesn't exist.
Wow. So it might tell a user to call connect secure of 9 when V9 isn't even out yet.
Precisely that kind of thing. And the moment a user hits one of those factual errors, boom, trust is gone.
All credibility just evaporates.
Boy.
Suddenly your docs are unreliable.
It's catastrophic, really. That's why the AI-assisted model isn't just better, it's practically mandatory for quality work. When you start with your own structure, your own research, then AI becomes genuinely useful for the tedious bits.
Right, like taking your bullet points and fleshing them out into proper sentences.
Or formatting, say, turning a long procedure into a quick reference cheat sheet.
Or taking rough technical notes and getting a first draft of polished prose. Stuff that used to take ages.
Absolutely. The productivity gain there is undeniable. I mean, cutting down time on those purely mechanical tasks, teams are seeing huge benefits, like cutting that time in half, sometimes even more.
Which is crucial when you're trying to keep docs up to date with rapid development cycles, right?
Exactly. It lets you keep pace without sacrificing the quality that comes from human oversight.
Okay, this is a good point to pause. Let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Curt Robbins.
Hi, this is Curt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the AI for Technical Writers podcast.
All right, so before the break, we established that using AI assistively is the way to go for productivity. But even then, the output isn't perfect. It needs serious editing because, as Oladele points out, AI doesn't write like a technical writer. It writes more like a copywriter.
That's the core challenge, isn't it? Technical writing values clarity, precision, being scannable, short sentences, action verbs, minimal fluff.
Get to the point. Help the user do the thing.
Right. But AI, trained on marketing copy and blog posts and all sorts of web content, tends to do the opposite.
So lots of conversational filler, transition words everywhere.
Yes, exactly. Unnecessary adjectives, adverbs that just make sentences longer. And it loves these long, flowing paragraphs. They might look nice, but try scanning one when you're stuck mid-installation. It's frustrating.
Yeah, you just want the steps.
Oladele gives a great example. AI might generate something like, once you're satisfied with your modifications, you can preserve them by simply clicking on the Save button located at the bottom of the interface.
Ugh, so wordy.
Totally.
Oh.
When all you need is click Save to store your changes. Clear, concise, actionable. Editing means constantly fighting that AI tendency towards fluff.
And it's not just the words, right? The structure gets weird, too.
Oh, definitely. Structure is a big one. Good technical documentation has a clear information architecture. Predictable patterns are key.
Like, setup comes before troubleshooting. Overview before deep details.
Exactly. You need that logical flow. AI often messes that up. It doesn't have that high-level understanding of how information should build. So you might get troubleshooting tips before the basic setup instructions, or system requirements buried 5 topics deep.
That sounds incredibly confusing for a user.
It is, and it can create flat heading structures, making it hard to see how topics relate. Or it repeats the same warning message in 3 different places because it lost context. That kind of structural chaos. Readers notice, and it undermines the usability.
So this really brings us back to the main point. AI is here. It's useful for efficiency, but you absolutely cannot trust its raw output for quality or accuracy.
Which means editing isn't just a skill anymore. It's the SIL. It's our superpower in this new landscape.
The technical writer's AI superpower. I like that.
And it's not just one monolithic thing, editing. Oladele breaks it down into 4 specific types that are critical when working with AI output.
Okay, what's the first one?
Structural editing. This is all about the big picture, the organization, the flow. Since AI often messes up the sequence, like putting details before the overview, structural editing is where you fix that. You reorder sections, ensure a logical progression, make sure it flows step by step. You're essentially the architect of the information.
Got it. Big picture first. Then what?
Then stylistic editing. This is about the language itself. Does it fit the audience? Is the tone right? Is the rhythm okay? This is where you really attack that copywriter tendency we talked about. Cut the jargon, kill the flowery adjectives, enforce that clear professional instructional voice, make sure it matches your company's style guide, voice, tense, all that.
Making it sound like proper technical documentation.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3.
Copy editing. And this is maybe where you fight the AI errors most directly. It's about precision and consistency. It used to be mostly grammar and spelling, but now, with AI, it's about auditing for those subtle errors. Did the AI invent an API parameter? Is it using 3 different variations of the product name because its training data was inconsistent?
Catching those sneaky factual errors or inconsistencies the AI introduced.
Exactly. Ensuring terminology is uniform, checking version numbers, making sure steps align with the actual interface. It's detailed, painstaking work.
And the last one, the final check.
Proofreading. This is your final safety net. You do this when the content is in its final format,
Yeah.
laid out with images in the help system or PDF. You're checking that everything looks right, the formatting is correct according to standards, the visuals match the text, and there are absolutely no lingering typos or grammatical mistakes. It's that last polish before it goes out the door.
4 layers of editing. Structural, stylistic, copy, and proofreading. That's comprehensive.
It has to be, with AI in the mix.
Now, let's be real. For someone starting out with this workflow, editing AI output might actually feel slower than just writing it themselves at first, right? It could be discouraging.
Oh, absolutely. That's a really important point. Initially, wading through AI-generated text, identifying the flaws, correcting the structure, fact-checking everything, it can take longer. It requires developing new pattern recognition skills.
But the key is practice.
Yes, stick with it, because as you practice, you get much, much faster. You start to instantly spot the typical AI mistakes, the fluff, the structural weirdness, the potential hallucinations. Your editing speed increases dramatically, and then you really start to reap the productivity benefits while still ensuring that high-quality, reliable documentation your users depend on. Fundamentally, AI has changed how we produce content. The mechanics are different, but it hasn't changed what makes technical documentation valuable: clarity, accuracy, originality, usability, and ensuring those values survive. That responsibility now falls squarely on the editor. That's where the human expertise really shines.
That's a powerful takeaway. Editing isn't just cleanup. It's where the value is preserved and created in the age of AI. Thank you for listening to the AI for Technical Writers podcast, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next week.